Hello, Dino.
Hi, Shobha, it's a pleasure. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Pleasure meeting you too, and welcome to Singapore. I know you come quite often, but this is the first time I'm meeting you here in Singapore. Dino, your wonderful school, Gems World Academy, it's quite an establishment if you look at it architecturally. Tell me, what is the vision that you had and your family had to set up a school like this and schools like this at different price points perhaps in the UAE?
Yeah, I think I'm very fortunate that we come from a third generation education family. Education first always has been our mantra, and 55 years ago my grandparents went out to the UAE initially to teach adults basic literacy and numeracy, but then they had that opportunity to set up that very first school. For all of that time we've been driven by a very singular purpose, and that is to provide access to quality education to as many children in as many communities around the world as possible. So for me, Gems World Academy Singapore is just the latest version of us being able to fulfill that purpose and that mission. And we're excited because Singapore represents for us such an important market when we look at everything that we would like to do within East Asia and the Asia Pacific more broadly.
So do you plan to expand here in this region and here at different price points, or will you keep it just as Gems World Academy?
So I think to a great extent we will respond to the directions of the government. I think we were fortunate that when the Singapore government released their RFP in 2010, we actually beat out 70 other operators globally in order to win the RFP. I think hopefully that's some statement of the quality of education that we've been able to provide. It speaks to our global track record and reputation. If the Singapore government would like other alternatives for other communities within the country, we naturally would be there to support that ambition and aspiration that the government has. So I would hope for more.
And what about other countries in the region, say Indonesia and Malaysia?
So Malaysia, we already have a school. We've got our main school opening in Penang with another two in Kuala Lumpur in 2 years. We have huge aspiration for Indonesia, Vietnam, the Philippines, and of course, nothing would be complete if you didn't mention China. China is very, very important to us, but it's a market that we want to spend our time understanding to ensure that we're able to deliver the quality of education that meets the ambition and aspiration of Chinese families. What will help, though, is the fact that, again, we've been shortlisted in Hong Kong and hopefully we'll be awarded the next school in Hong Kong, which would give us a wonderful base to move into China.
Absolutely. Would that be a boarding school?
I think what we would do in Hong Kong, again, subject to the decision from the government, given the land constraints, it's unlikely to be a boarding school.
Could you tell us a little bit about the system that you have over here? You have both IGCSE and IB.
Correct. So we are, as Dino was saying, we are an international school. We're committed to the 3 programs of the International Baccalaureate. But as with any international school, you need to be considerate to the demographic, the families that come to you. IGCSE and the understanding of IGCSE, similar to CBSE and O-levels and GCSEs around the world, was something that our families have asked for. The great thing for us, it really strengthens our IB program. So for us, the IB is simply the how. It's how we teach, it's how we learn. And the IGCSE is the what. It gives us some substance and direction, particularly for our grade 9 and 10 programs. So we're very excited about delivering that from August of 2015.
Dave, you've got years of experience in schools, in international schools, from Australia to Singapore. And you've had 22 years altogether. And I understand 8 years with the Overseas Family School when you were last the principal over there. Tell us, in such a crowded market as Singapore, with so many international schools, and there's a limited number of expatriates coming in here and probably demand for it, how do you expect to fare to fulfill the challenge of reaching your goals? What are your unique selling points, and what makes you confident that you can achieve these goals in, say, the next year or 3 years?
Well, that's a lot to cover, so I'll break it down a little bit. Our unique selling point is very much that we are a school committed to holistic excellence, sports and arts and academics. So it's a truly balanced program for our students. Everyone's involved in the sports. Every child gets up on stage and performs multiple times throughout the year in front of their families. Our grade 1s to 5s are all involved in the orchestral program. And obviously with our international curriculum, we're very much focused upon academic excellence. It's an important factor for all of our families. What's going to make us different in Singapore? There's lots of international schools. It's a mature market, but not all schools are the same. And it's one thing to have a great building, which we do. What's important to us are the teachers and the people we have within that building. So what will make us unique? The system's important, absolutely.
I wanted to ask you, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but it's quite unique to have an Olympic swimming instructor who's teaching your children.
Yeah.
Isn't that so?
It is, and I think that's where I was going as well, Shobha. What will make us stand out is our ability to deliver and execute. So when we talk about excellence, we can reinforce it with our swimming coach who's gone to 2 Olympics. When we talk about our arts program, the importance of music, yes, there's the philosophy, but our Juilliard-trained teacher who loves kids is able to deliver on that. And when we recruit our teachers, absolutely, first and foremost, we want to get a feeling that they love kids, that they love education. And that's what makes us different in Singapore. And already the message that's getting out to the Singapore families is that what we're promising on paper is being delivered and executed very well in the reality of the school, and it's through great people.
One of the things that we've believed passionately as a family, as GEMS Education, is that education is about providing quality to every student. So we actually are non-selective. We do not select our students on the basis of intellectual ability.
That's what's really great, I think.
And there's an important piece here. So our school is for every child, and of course we need to make sure that we have the people, the resources to meet their needs, and we'll always do an assessment to make sure we can do that. But for us, what seems to be prevalent in a lot of developed and mature markets is that students are steered a particular way. They are screened.
Selective.
Parents seem to feel under a tremendous amount of pressure at very, very early stages, and it shouldn't be that way. And for us, you know, because we are non-selective, yes, we're going to have academically brilliant children, and our track record speaks for that.
Diversity, you have more diversity.
But we're going to have children that are athletically able, that are incredible artists or musicians. And for GEMS, philosophically, what does that mean? It means that our people, our teachers are able to ensure that no matter what the ability of the child, we will identify it, we will nurture it, and we will unlock the potential of every child. And that, I think, is a very, very strong message to the parents within Singapore.
Is this whole concept, this 50-year-old school that you have, schools, the brands, the various brands under the GEMS Global Education brand, is a Varkey concept. It's your grandfather's idea. He started this. And it's the ethos still keeps lingering in every school that he starts, whether it's a lowest price point of $300 a year or the highest price points like the GEMS World Academies. And I liked when you said that you want to carry this educational stamp to have an impact on the way the world is going.
Sure.
And that's a huge and tall but a very idealistic ambition, especially since you're even going into Africa. You're in Asia, Southeast Asia, India,
sure,
part of Asia, of course.
Sure.
You're thinking of China. Now you've covered the entire, I think, 3 billion part of the globe, and you only have another 3 billion to cover.
Yeah,
so,
when you put it that way.
Yeah, when you look at it, it's a very, and it's 250,000 children sounds a lot. It is, but when you think of how many there are in the world, you've got a huge task before you,
sure,
but something that is very accomplishable from the way your school is going. Tell us what do you mean by that vision,
sure,
of how you have an impact on the way the world is growing?
So I think when we talk to a lot of people about our vision, you know, what do we want to be? We talk about being amongst the most admired companies, not just in the education sector, but being amongst the most admired companies in the world. And in order to do that, you need to do something significant. When you talk about what drives us, what's our purpose as an organization, as GEMS Education, as I told you, we exist to try and put a quality education within the reach of every child and every student. But the why we do it is really, really important. And the reason we do it is fundamentally because we believe that if we are successful in inculcating the right values in our students, no matter where they are in the world, then we as an organization, as a community of people, we will have a tremendous impact on improving the state of the world and the direction that our world is heading in. So that's why we do what we do.
Tremendous impact on improving the state of the world. Now, if all educators had this ambition, that is remarkable. And that is something, Dave, I think, that you make sure that you
Absolutely, and I think Dino's made a good point. It's absolutely the why. Why are people educators? Why are we focused on developing children and supporting their families? And these are highly mobile families that need our support and guidance and working in partnership with them.
It's wonderful to hear that, because the why, quite often businesses go into opening schools, whereas teachers went into opening this school. That is the big difference, isn't it?
As I said before, we're educators first and foremost, and hopefully always will be that way.
Business second. That's the beauty of this entire concept, I think.
Thank you very much, Shobha, for your time.
Thank you very much,
We appreciate
Dino.
it.
All
Thank
the
you very
very
much.
best. Thank you, Dave.